Welcome to the Kpopcast. I'm your K-pop DJ PLo, and I'm joined by our East Coast producer, Ariana.
Hey.
And also friend of the podcast and K-pop journalist, it's Jacques.
Hey guys, thanks for having me back.
Can't wait.
Today, we'll be talking about CLC's No, letting you know if this song is Kpopcast or not.
But before we dive into that, first, our hit replays.
Hit replays are songs we recommend y'all listen to on replay for the week. So Jacques, tell us. I know you've been listening to something, a throwback, if I understand it?
Yeah, a little bit of a throwback. It's not that old, but last year's Remember Me by Oh My Girl,
that's right.
Yeah, I completely slept on this song when it came out. I don't know why. It's weird because I'm actually a fan of Oh My Girl, and I really liked I bet you guys hate this, but the Oh My Girl subunit Banana from...
That's such a polarizing song.
I know.
Oh, gosh.
I was totally into that last year, and somehow I just skipped over Remember Me, and I actually didn't listen to Secret Garden that much either. And then I started re-listening to them again like a few weeks ago, and now I cannot stop. They're incredible. I really wish the song had done better because Secret Garden was like quite a hit for them, and Remember Me sort of went down, but I love it. I love all of the 80s fashion that they've got going. I was watching some of their stages, and they had all these like neon lights and everything. It was just amazing. So I cannot get enough of that song right now.
That's right.
They were a group I was really opposed to, and then I met Tamar Herman for just coffee one day, and she was like, you should really give them another chance, and they're starting to really grow on me.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, I think that they have a really good lineup, and they really have a good sound, and I hope that they keep growing, although I'm a bit worried because like Secret Garden did do really well, and then Banana and Remember Me just didn't make much of a dent, and it's kind of like it's really hard to get that momentum when you're a mid-level girl group, and then if you don't follow it up with another hit straight away, it can really go down. So I'm kind of interested to see how they do when they come back with their next comeback.
Can't wait.
So Ariana, what's making you hit replay this week?
Okay, I have to say I had a completely different song picked before today, but then ATEEZ released their performance video for Hala Hala, and it completely ruined any chance I was going to talk about anything else. I'm just kind of obsessed with this group. I've got tickets to see them soon, and I cannot wait. It's going to be so good. I'm also meeting a listener at the show. It's going to be awesome. I want to just quickly say it stands for Hearts Awakened, Live Alive. I don't know what that means, but it's a banger of a song. The video is also really cool because it's just a performance video, but it's just in a warehouse, which allows it to all be about the choreography and the song, which is what I really liked. And I just want to point out Jungho's vocals and Mingi's rap section are the highlights of the song for me. So good.
Hurry up now. Surprise, more than get it box. So size, start the Yoshi boy. Lightning, let's get burning now.
Do you think the choreography music video was because they wanted to show off their dancing, or because they didn't have the budget to film a bigger video?
I do think because Say My Name probably took up a huge amount of the budget, especially with all those really awesome clothing choices. But I would probably say it was for the dancing, because they like KQ Fellas is what we know them for.
Yeah.
And so they know what they're good at. They know.
Yeah. Give the
I'm
people
really
what they want.
really into it. Give them what they want, and that's just more good choreo.
Yeah. And quick side note, if you're not standing 18s, you're doing K-pop wrong. I'm sorry. Like they are totally winning in K-pop. Like, please stand 18.
I actually thought I was going to fight you for this song.
Yeah, it is indeed a good song. But in the process of standing ATEEZ, I was looking back on KQ Entertainment's past songs, and I discovered an old gem. It's Babylon and his song La La La. Now,
Ooh.
this artist is featuring another young and up-and-coming female artist. Maybe you've heard of her before. She's a really standout dancer, a remarkable singer. Her name is Chungha, featuring back in this 2017 single, back when K-Tropical House was still coming into prominence and still a thing. I love the song just because of all those K-Tropical House elements, and it's a dance music video, so you see both the impeccable dancing ability of Babylon and this upcoming star named Chungha.
Your obsession between Chungha and Soyeon knows no bounds forever.
La vida, vida, la pipi, vida loca, 달콤한 martini. 따분한 어제 모두 다 잊어버려 멀리. 모든 걸 마실 것만 같아. Pastel tone pink ocean. La vida, vida, la pipi, vida loca 하늘 위로. 어디부터 해야 돼?
This song when it came out, and I actually think that it's kind of better than a lot of Chungha's songs.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our Daebak or Not for CLC's No.
This song is many things. And CLC tells us that it's not many other things. Pulling from an article on Soupy, the girl group provided an explanation about the title of the album. According to them, they said, quote, "We write it as no.1 or number one, but read it as no one. It means that no one can replace us. Elke came up with the idea." They continued, quote, "Until now, we've shown different images, including innocent, cute, and sexy. This time, we decided to show our unique color that can't be defined as one thing."
That is a really great way to describe this concept because it's not really girl crush. It's not Aegyo at all. And it's kind of sexy, but in a really badass way.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, we always watch DKTV's Explain series, and they talked about it's, you see in the breakdown right before the end where they, like no sexy, no Aegyo. And they were he was talking about that those are kind of like the main things that Korean women are expected to do. They're expected to fall into 3 categories: pure, sexy, or Aegyo. And so they're kind of rejecting all of those 3 and saying that women are just so much more complex than that, and that it's based on patriarchal gaze instead of like what women want. And I think that that's like a really great message for a comeback because honestly, nobody's talking about this right now. We occasionally might get it from a Hyuna or maybe a Sunmi, but very rarely do you see a group take this on.
It's definitely a risky message to take.
Yeah.
I think in Korea. So yeah, in addition to each of those states of being, like it's also rejecting the objectification, the lipstick and the handbag, just as idols are often seen as mannequins for product placement, as we see in mannequins in this music video. We look to idols in that same way, and that's such a unidimensional way of looking at a person. And so when you're rejecting, like, I am none of these things, it's showing that there's a lot more complexity, multidimensionality behind the characters here. But they say no to each of these things, and yet they wear them.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thought. The whole time I was watching it, I went, okay, is it going to end with them like being in sweatpants? Because that'll be awesome. Like sweatpants and sneakers. Yeah, that's an awesome way to end this. And
that
then
would be a win for everyone too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, they're just dressed pretty the whole time. And they're in heels and they're all wearing lipstick.
Yeah, well,
so
it was really confusing. And I mean, this kind of speaks to a larger problem with CLCs. If you go back to them at the beginning, they haven't really known what kind of group they are. I mean, they've tried so many different concepts, and at strange times as well, they've done complete 180s, like when they went from Hobgoblin to, Where Are You? And then on this, I mean, they're saying we reject, sex sexy, eggyo, and then they're doing, you know, red lipstick, everything, but they're doing it all in the music video. For me, I kind of took it in a way of them saying, no, we're not just cute, no, we're not just sexy, no, we're not just, you know, girl crush, we're all of these things at once, we're much more complex. I don't really feel like it's a feminist message, although I kind of feel like they've tried to awkwardly throw a feminist thing in there to get in on that movement because it's such a hot topic now, and it just doesn't really work. It's a bit like, well, let's just try this and make it feminist, and it doesn't really gel. So I think it's a bit, they've missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a choice from the company too, because for me it seems like a calculated risk, because you put out like a very typical music video for a girl group, right? Like I would say like there's parts of it that I really love, like the fact there's more choreo than I would say most girl group videos have. But there's just a random truck in the middle of the video that I was like, how does this pertain to anything? Are they selling this truck? This could be an anthem for a feminist movement if they don't look at the video ever. Like the words of this song mean a lot. Like the lyrics say a lot. There's parts of the video that I think allude to it, but then they don't end it on anything different. Like one of the things DKTV said was like, yeah, but they're all wearing the same clothes. So how are they breaking away from looking like everybody else, you know? It's one of those things that like, it's definitely a calculated risk to put out this song in general. I don't think they could also have put out a feminist video because they would have burned Cube to the ground. You know, there's already too many people that are angry at Cube that they could not have done that. You know, like it would have not worked. And I think there were pieces of it, like Sungyeon's earrings. She has like the female symbol on her earrings.
Right.
That part where she shuts the book, I had to be a creep and like pause really close and like look up the book. It's actually a religious book, and so her shutting it is being like, I'm not a good girl. You know, like this is not who I am. So it's like it alludes to it in the video, but they don't ever follow through.
Yeah.
Like the decision to have the, which I really like, the funeral for the bags and shoes. That's a really pretty, it's a pretty big statement, but they're still wearing the heels.
So if I may offer a PR answer to these concerns.
Okay.
Yes, these are all the stereotypical expectations set on women in Korea and the Western world at large. However, as a feminist, it can still be your decision to wear those things or not. Yeah,
we can take it as two different things. One, we can take it as they're saying one thing in a song, doing it in the video, because you definitely can't just be super, super feminist in Korea without having a backlash. We know that from what happened to Irene last year, or has it been 2 years? But, you know, she read a book that was feminist and people burned her, you know, merchandise, you know?
Sure. But what I'm saying here is that you can be against lipstick, but still choose to allow other people to wear it, or choose to wear it on yourself.
They're wearing it in the video. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be singing no red lipstick, no handbags, no shoes, and then doing all of it. Like, of course you can wear lipstick and be sexy and be a feminist. Like, you know, like
I am a red lipstick wearer. I wear aggressive lipstick and I'm a hardcore feminist. But like, I do think that they are saying too, like, I don't have to wear red lipstick. I can wear whatever the lipstick I want. I don't have to wear heels, but maybe I want to. They could be saying that, but I do think it's a little bit of a cop out in a way. And but I also think it's because, like, you have to remember, they're still idols. Like, they can't just throw it all under the bus. There are some people in Korea that you can get a female rapper that can do this, you know, like I think Yoonmi Ray does, you know, feminist anthems all the time, but it's harder for an idol group.
Well, it is, but then I'm like, well, why even bother then? Like, if you can't even do it properly and you're kind of contradicting yourself repeatedly throughout this whole sort of visual and song, why not just kind of remove the feminist element and then make it something about, like, you can twist it. Like, I do think they are trying to show that as a group we're all these different things, and, you know, we can be sexy, we can be cute, we're very complex, don't put us in a box. Like, that's powerful enough as it is, and it really speaks to their career if you look at all of the concept changes that they've had. But then to kind of try and make it feminist feminist just feels a bit sort of bandwagony, and it just sort of doesn't really work, and it just doesn't gel.
I like that they went down this route. I am a huge fan of this song. It just, the video lets me down in that way where I just because the thing is they also put out their dance practice today, and I was like, you should have just worn this. You guys look great. Like they're in sneakers and sweats, and so again, I don't have a problem with the feminist message. I think that it's a hard game to play of like how far you can take this kind of message when there's so much opposition to it in the country. I also just think that the video doesn't say a whole lot in comparison to the song.
Well, you could still be feminist without specifically having to put no red lipstick, no heels. Like you can still make a feminist message without having to talk about these specific accessories and stuff. It's just weird. It's like if you want, like they could still do a feminist thing. It's just I don't know why they're saying we're not wearing lipstick and heels, and then they're wearing lipstick and heels. It's just like
How much you want to bet that we'll see this played like at a feminist rally this year, though? You know what I mean? Like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's smart. Like that's a smart choice, and especially very particularly CLC is a girl group that I think is starting to get a little bit of a Western audience now.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is a good play for a Western audience too, because even though I'm like, oh, this video doesn't match, I'm like, I'm going to be bumping this when I'm feeling like I want to take down the patriarchy every single time. So, it's like a calculated risk. I guess we'll see how it turns out, because they are number 5 on world albums this week, so maybe it was a good risk.
We should also mention that they've kind of done this before with Black Dress. The song was singing about a black dress, and they did the whole concept in men's suits. So
yeah, I thought that was interesting. They don't really understand their concepts that well.
I know. I'm seeing a pattern here.
It's so funny. Going into today, I was like, yes, another feminist anthem. And then like you guys are like, no, it can't be, because they can't have your cake and do these things too. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, you guys are totally changing my decision on this. But
I don't know. I do think it can be a feminist anthem if you're just looking at if you're just looking at the song. It really is. Like if you separate the video, I listened to the song separately, and if you like look at the lyrics, you're like, oh, they're saying like they're pretty much just throwing everything down on the ground, being like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want, and I am who I am. I read an article from the South China Morning Post. They completely dodged the question on if this had anything to do with the corset-free movement, and I was like, yeah, it probably sounds right.
They were coached not to speak to that.
Well,
yeah, they were taught not to speak to that.
The corset-free movement as well. I mean, I've watched some stuff on it on YouTube and everything, and that's a very specific kind of feminism that is a bit of a burn your bra, don't wear makeup, chop your hair off kind of feminism, and that does not gel with the visuals of this
K-pop,
song at all. And it's also what's a bit awkward as well is that they're singing about the no lipstick and everything, like it's an empowering, but like they've never looked better wearing these heels.
They look so good.
Incredible. Like they've never looked better and more confident. And even the comments from like Koreans and like netizen buzz and stuff, they're going, oh my god, why didn't they do this concept before? They look incredible. So it's like these things that they're rejecting, they actually have reached like peak visuals. So it's awkward.
Yeah. I think the one thing we can say is what they are rejecting is being put in a box, and that what is what CLC does. CLC, I've said it before and I'll say it again, one of my biggest issues with female groups is that they're not allowed to break concept. That's why I love Red Velvet, because Red Velvet does whatever the hell they want because they have a red and a velvet. And so they kind of have like a bunch of weird stuff that they do. And I think CLC I would put in that realm too, but they're just not as successful with it.
Yeah, I agree
so
with that.
I wonder if this is the option of like them saying like, we no longer are going to abide by rules. We're going to do what we want. And maybe that's all they had to say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Only one of the members was part of the writing of the song. We have to look at the other person who wrote the song, who is...
Oh, yeah. So let's get into the main part of the show, which is the Soyeon section. Because Soyeon, as we all know, co-wrote this song. And you can hear it, guys. Yeah. You can totally hear it.
Yeah, it sounds like a Soyeon song.
The way they rap, I'm almost certain Soyeon wrote that vocal guide and recorded it. And there's a track out there somewhere in the universe of Soyeon singing this song that all the CLC girls referenced when they recorded their take on the song. So like I can hold out hope that one day I will hear the Soyeon version.
Well,
of
this is
song.
this is a bit like when Hyuna did their Hobgoblin comeback,
Hobgoblin,
and then suddenly they sounded like Hyuna.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I was like, I think Hyun's a great rapper, but she keeps sounding like the person that she's working with.
Yeah. I mean, I think that a bit of that is also Cube trying to get their more successful artists involved in CLC somehow for a bit of media play of like, oh, look, Hyuna work with them. Soyeon from G Idol work with them. Like, pay attention to CLC now. Like, it's a bit of a publicity thing.
You know what? At least they're trying, because I thought that after G Idol did well last year, that they were going to completely phase out CLC. So the fact that
Don't say it.
I thought that too.
Yeah,
I thought that too.
I think all of us thought that was what was happening. And when they came back with this concept, I was like, oh, crap. They actually tried really hard with this one. Because this song is actually very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I was really expecting kind of a cop-out and kind of a lazy, like, I almost like a ballad or something. I did not expect this at all.
One thing that I've got to give Cube credit for, I mean, I do think that they've mismanaged CLC in a lot of ways, which it'll go on forever. But they've really supported this group in terms of giving them consistent comebacks. I mean, this is a group that I don't think they've ever cracked the guy on Top 100. And they've had, this is their 8th mini album? Like,
oh my God.
That kind of
They've been
support
swinging. Yeah.
that support is huge, even though it's like the concepts and songs haven't always been right and it's been wrong in that regard. Like the fact that they're consistently putting out music when they've never charted is pretty huge. I mean, can you imagine YG doing that? Like, not a chance.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, they're in the dungeon the minute they don't hit the top 10.
And sometimes even when they do hit the top 10, they're in the dungeon.
They're still in the dungeon. Yeah. Poor Lehigh. I also just think this song is really interesting. Like, it is very like Soyeon. I would have assumed this would have been a Soyeon solo. I like the chorus being just this like repetitive call and response. It's just this like red lip.
That's a question I have for you guys. Like, as a DJ, like when I look at the structure of the song, I was looking at that list, and they do that list 4 times in the song, the nose, and I was like, is that the chorus? Because I'm so confused. Because there's another section where it changes, right? Where it's like, I like me, and
I think the I like me is the actual chorus, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's sung, but because it's repeated so many times, normally that's the chorus,
right?
But then they decide to use it at the end of the song and the bridge, and it's just in a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
I love weird songs and weird structures on stuff.
Yeah.
Especially that's one reason I like girl groups, because I do think their music is more adventurous in general over boy group music. But I think this song is a little too out there, especially for a group that has never charted and actually really needs a hit. I feel like the main chorus, the I Like Me chorus, is so catchy, and I think they only do it maybe twice in the song. Like,
yeah, I think they do it twice.
Yeah,
only twice.
I really feel like they should have hit that chorus sooner at the start, because it takes about a minute for the chorus to even come in. So it's a really long build up, and then at the end, the song kind of fades out with sort of a rap thing, and you don't get the chorus again. Like, this is one instance where, as much as I appreciate the creativity of this, I really feel like they should have made it a little bit more commercial, considering that they've never had a hit before.
You guys are just shooting me in the heart right now. Like,
no, I'm actually the opposite on this. I actually think the fact that they're adventurous could give them a better chance of getting a hit, because they have done more chorus-based singing songs and it has not worked. And I'm actually one of the few who was like, I love the concept of Black Dress, but I didn't love this song. And for me personally, like, this song sticks. This song is in my head all the time.
Yes,
it's a mixture of the I Like Me and the red lip. No, because it's call and response, which is so catchy. And if it does become an anthem, this really could put them on I wouldn't say the top echelon of girl groups right now, but it really could start moving them up, even to compete with their sister group. You know what I mean? Like, this is something completely different that I haven't heard before. Like, only having a chorus twice, I've never heard in a song.
Yeah.
or like that I can think of.
I wish that to experiment like this and to only have the chorus twice, the chorus wasn't so good, because it's such a good chorus. You listen, you're like, oh my God, like I need that chorus like one more time. Like it's so good. Yeah. And it just feels when the song finishes a bit, I'm just a bit like, oh, like I just wanted that like one more like hit.
Yeah. I think this one they really focus on Yeon and Sungyeon on this song, like in general. They're the stars of this song. Like, and I would probably say Sorn also just because she's so pretty.
Yeah, but, she's gorgeous.
She's just so pretty, and I like her face. But like, I would say they're probably like the heads of the song. So like, because they focus on them, that's the kind of song that we got was going to be like their voices, you know?
Well, that makes sense because they pushed Sunghee sort of originally because she had a really good voice, and they pushed after Produce 101 they pushed Yoonbin a lot because she's you know, really pretty, and it kind of didn't work, so they've sort of shifted to some different members now.
I'm interested to see how that shift works.
When I listen to this song, like from beginning to end, like to me it's like such a audio masterpiece. Like from that first beat, like, well, yes, the call and response that you hear in the list, and then in comes that thick, like fat, like PH fat, and like thick with like 2 C's. Is that how kids are saying it nowadays? Yeah, like it is so enveloping, that bass that you hear. And if you don't listen to this song with either headphones or speakers that cannot handle this bass, like straight up, you're not listening to this song. Like that, the bass is like the extra member to this group. That Soyeon, of course, naturally provides and calculated and produced this song. But that bass is so thick. And then as we go into the pre-chorus, it's the second half of the pre-chorus, we start hearing a snare. But it's that snare that's like, oh shiz. Like now we're getting, you know, turned up. It's like we're about to turn it up. And as I like symbolically listen to the message of the song, it's a girl, she's going through a lot of points of rejection. She's rebelling. She's like, I'm not doing these things. I'm not going to be sexy. I'm not going to act like a good girl. I'm not going to wear all these things. And it's reflecting her inner monologue. And then right at that pivotal point in the chorus, it's like, you know what? I'm none of those things because I like me. I like myself. And you audibly hear that. It's a big shift in how you go from that really bassy, like rebellious beat to all of a sudden, Jacques, as you're saying, this very catchy moment in the chorus. Following the chorus, the 2 choruses, and you know, as you hear the third list of no's, and then it goes into the bridge, and as the bridge ends, what I really love is the sense of dissonance. So right at the last no, right before the dance break, you hear Sungyeon. She says no in such a long and dissonant way, and it's like auto-tuned and stacked and layered, and it's that uncomfort in that very beat that's elongated that I love.
Red lip, no.
It's like, oh, you know what? Like, I could be all these things, but no. Like, I want to see the world burn. And then it goes into that dance break at the end.
No.
I embrace wholeheartedly. Like, I was willing to make that sacrifice, lose the third chorus, and give it in to another no. So, like, I am so feeling the music, you guys, and say what you will, you guys can hate it, the world can hate it, but because Soyeon, my girl, made it, I'm gonna love it automatically.
This is making it onto your DJ tracks.
Yeah, you sure as hell know I'm gonna be spinning this song all the freaking time. It's only like the second like month of 2019, but this is already in my top 10 for 2019. I'm calling it right now. This is like within the top 10 for the year.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I mean, I just want to clarify, I do love the song, and I don't disagree really with anything you're saying, Peter. And when the song came out, I was listening to it on repeat. I was like, oh my God, this is sick. I love this. But honestly, like after a week or so, like I started going back to Black Dress. Like that's what I mean. Like, I don't know, Black Dress is just so catchy, and it's just kind of like when I want that hit, that, you know, pop hit, like I've gone back to the catchier stuff. So I don't know, but I do love it, but I just don't know if it's going to have the same replayability for me.
K-pop girl, so this was my jam. Before we wrap up with everything, I just want to give a quick shout out to this choreo because it's so good.
Yes, it is.
And so much of it is in the video, which is not normal, and I love it. Like I said before, they put out the dance practice video today, and it made me realize how much I really loved it because there's all this there's a bunch of different sections, but the sections where they're posing and then they distort it. I love that part. It is so cool. It really does go along with the song really well about we're going to pose into this particular character and then immediately throw that away. You know what I mean? And we're not doing that anymore. We're doing something different. And then at the very end, when they're going into that final dance break, when they shove their butts back and they start walking backwards, best moment.
I love watching their choreography performances, Ariana, for all the reasons you described for how awesome that choreography is. But what's really funny is that at that last dance break, for all the live performances, you see them trying to act really solemn and tough and mean, and then the camera focuses on them and they're trying to maintain their composure, but you can see that they're totally huffing and puffing and trying to hold still while their body is exhausted from all the intense dancing. I just thought that was funny.
It's so rare that you get to see the girls girl groups huff and puff. It's awesome. I wonder if this will be one of those we had some really repeatable dance numbers last year that really took a life of their own. I wonder if this will be one of them.
I think it's a little too complicated.
It's a little too complicated, I think. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's such good choreo, and we rarely get to see girl groups do really complex choreo, but I just don't know if this is repeatable.
Right.
I think it's too complicated to become I don't know what the point dance of this would be.
Right.
Yeah, and the song needs to be a hit as well for the choreography to be a hit for the most part, unless it's sort of something where the choreography goes viral and then it makes the song a success. But I think a lot of the choreography catching on is really going to depend on how well the song goes. I mean, I assume that I wouldn't be surprised to see international K-pop fans trying the dance on YouTube and stuff, because CLC does have that international fan base, but in terms of in Korea, I don't see it.
Yeah. I do wonder if they have that because they have the Western fandom, if we're going to start to see another, almost like the way BTS worked from the West and then back to Korea, if they can do something like that as well.
Yeah, well, they've done an English song on the album, so they're clearly moving in that direction. One thing that has surprised me though is that we see with Blackpink, because they have Lisa, who's Thai, she has a huge Southeast Asian following, and the same hasn't seemed to have happened for CLC, which I don't get, because Sorna's amazing. She's so beautiful, and she's really active online. She's not kind of hidden away. She's one of the main.
She has a new YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
She has a new YouTube channel now. Yeah,
and I'm surprised that hasn't kind of made them superstars in Southeast Asia in the kind of same way that it has with Blackpink.
It is interesting.
I was going to say it's probably YG pushing it versus Cube.
Yeah. That's definitely a big part of it for sure.
So on that note of Soren, there was a moment in K-pop, Jacques, you would know this better than anyone, where everyone was kind of hating on all the Thai idols. And this was, I think, in the Korean domestic community. But in the song, it's a rejection, right? And it's about self-positivity. So when we see Soren in this music video, behind her, we actually see
the Thai.
Yes. And it's so, to me, that was a very important scene, because for Soren, she's been the target of several racist attacks to how she looks. And it's about her attacks about her home country. And so having that imagery behind her and having her say no, that's profound. That's deep. That's no, you won't bully me, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably a little more jaded than you, and when I see that, I think of that more as, okay, Cuba put that in because they want to get that Thai fan base over. I don't look at it I
practical commercial.
I see it more. I see it with dollar signs, because everything when I look at K-pop and stuff, I'm always thinking of, okay, this, they've done this to get this.
Where
fan
are they making
base.
money?
I think of it in a very commercial kind of way.
I'm kind of in between, where I'm I know that they're probably probably doing that, but I also like know that this probably means a lot to people too.
Yeah.
So like it is what it is. They're gonna always pull on our heartstrings.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I'm sure that Sean would have felt really proud to have been able to have that in there and have that moment.
구두 no, 향수 no, 가방 no, 화장 no, 청순 no, 섹시 no, 애교 no, 착한 척 red lip no.
Well, it's about that time, y'all. It's time to give our final scores. Okay, so for the concept, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, how would you rate it, Jacques?
Okay, this is hard for me to rate. If we didn't have the whole discussion...
concept.
Yeah, if we didn't have the whole discussion with it was kind of confusing with the feminist stuff, I would have given it like a 5 because I think visually they just absolutely killed it. But because I think that some of it just didn't really work and gel together, and some of the messaging with the lyrics and everything, I've got to give it like... I'll give it a 3 because
that hurts me to hear. Honestly.
Actually, you know what? No. I'll give it a 4 because when I'm listening to the song personally, I'm not taking it in a feminist sense. I'm taking it as them just saying that they're a diverse girl group that you can't put in a box. I'm thinking of it as that, and it makes more sense to me as that.
That's how we should all let's pretend that they didn't even try in something feminist. Let's just say that this is a moment of self-respect.
Well, no, I'm voting. I'm giving them a score for the feminist anthem. So I'm actually gonna break this down and just say concept, just talking about the video and the choreo and not talking about the lyrics of the song, because I'll put that in audio.
Okay.
I'm gonna say for me the concept was like a 2.5. I did not care. I love the choreo. The like 2 of those points are for the choreo. I think the choreo is great, but I didn't care about the video that much. Sorry. Peter, you're going to give it a great score. It's okay.
4.8, guys. Yeah, 4.8. Whatever, however you want to interpret this.
Yeah.
This is a triumph. This, to quote one of our Twitter followers, Queen Sarah Yehu, CLC is a treasure to be treasured. This is class and attitude while feeling entirely genuine. I don't care what the rest of you guys have to say about it being logically incoherent and inconsistent. It is beautiful. They are beautiful. Stand the dancing, and Soyeon is the best in bringing that.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, I mean that we have to get into the audio now. So like for me, audio is a straight up like 4.5 because I think this song is great and I like the message of the song. So I balance myself out there, but I was a little bit less on the concept. But Peter, if you gave a 4.8 for the concept, what are you going to give for the audio?
A 4.9 on the audio, guys. Like, seriously, this song is so amazing. Like, it blows my mind. Look, some like inside baseball for all you Kpopcast listeners. This is going to be at my hit replay last week, and then like everyone in the Kpopcast is like,
I told her no. I told you no.
They're like, we're going to do a Dave Barker not on that, Peter. You can't pick it. I'm like, ugh. So like my rage is like exploding right now because this song is so awesome. I'm glad Ariana, thank you for making me do it like in a full on episode. But I love this mainly because of Soyeon.
Yeah, obviously.
You know, to be fair, but like it's that thick bass, guys, and that snare in the pre-chorus, and then the dissonance in the bridge, and like, oh my gosh, it gets me every time.
Okay. Jacques, what is your rate for the song?
I might regret this because with my view, like honestly, with K-pop songs, a lot of the time I really go from like I love it, and then I have like a lull, and then I love it again. And then it's kind of like after a few months, I'm like I really know how I feel about something. But I'm gonna give it a 4 because I do think the production's. I mean, I love the production. It's really cool. I love that they've kind of taken a chance, and if this was another girl group that was maybe more successful, I think I would be a little bit more receptive. I just do think that it was maybe not the smartest thing to go this far out there, even though I appreciate it as a music fan, but I would have liked to see it maybe a little bit more commercial. I want them to have a hit. I want them to be successful. Like I've been loving them since Pepe, their first song, which I think is like it was such a good debut. It was like such a kind of like Wonder Girl girls vibes. I've really been following them, and yeah, it's really cool that they're still out and they're putting out like interesting music and still, you know, trying their best despite all the flopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, guys?
Yeah,
guys, like true artistry is like rarely recognized in its time. So, like, this song might not be a chart topper, but it is artistry. It is near perfection.
Yeah.
And you might not like it, but I recognize it for what it is. All right, guys, taking this all into account, taking in the fantastic choreo, the beautiful visuals, the amazing synth bass of the audio, is this song Daebak or not?
For me, it's Daebak. I don't really know.
That's the
of
correct
course
answer.
it is.
Jacques,
Yeah.
you better
Of
give the right
course,
answer.
it is. Yeah, definitely. It's Daebak.
Okay,
It's
okay.
off the chain. It's great.
Because I'm not sure what I would do if you didn't say it was Daebak. And guys, like listeners, Kpopcast listeners, like K-pop world, this song is hella Daebak. Like if you don't recognize this as like being a Daebak song, like you need to seek like mental health treatment. Like there is something wrong with you. I'm sorry. So this song is beautiful. And I want to quote one of our listeners. This is coming from Choi Yu-jin, or GF_YUJIN, said, "I found it empowering. Plus, the fact that Soyeon and Yeon made it, it's sincere."
Those girls are awesome. You can always chat with us on Twitter at the Kpopcast, or shoot us an email with your constructive feedback and episode ideas at kpopcastshow@gmail.com.
So we put out a tweet asking y'all thought of CLC. We got a lot of comments, and I want to give a big shout out to a lot of the distinguished guests of the K-pop community who weighed in on it. So K-pop Junkie, he had a chance to join us, or at least provide his thoughts, and he said, "As someone who wants to see CLC succeed, this song didn't hit me the way I wanted it to at first. I wasn't fond of the way the song started and the two verses that came later, but as time went on, the chorus, the breakdown that follows, the interesting synth bass, all of it had me coming back again and again. And it wasn't until I saw the whole package that I was on board with this comeback. The song itself is good, just not as great as I was hoping." Oh, okay, he's wrong there. But he says, "But ... the empowering message, the sophisticated women crush concept and outfits, Yeon's rap and charisma, when all of these things come together during a live performance, that's when CLC shines with no."
Agreed.
Very good, K-pop
Well,
Junkie.
I wanted to give a slight different response from our friend Stephen Knight, which you can find him at Tennessee Appeal. He said he did it in a list. So, sticking with Hobgoblin, 4-second black dress concept, yes. Going with a Soyeon song, yes.
Yes.
Experimentation, yes. The singing and rapping, Yeon, yes. Overall, meh.
No.
He said, so much chanting and chant singing keeps the song in neutral until Yeon shows up and saves the day.
Yeah, but you hear Soyeon in that chanting, so that's why it's okay. We also reached out to our good listener, Boy with the Lips, who said, "Oh my gosh, how long do you have?" And this was him joking to me, asking what do you think of the song? He said, "If anything, it's the same genius that went into picking No as a title track that made Girls Aloud so amazing."
Oh, Sexy No No No. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Sonically, they're so different, but it's doing something that's so left of field, but still in their musical color that they continue to grow in. Also, the live stages send me off every time. They're giving us live vocals, choreo in heels, and they're fighting. Also, the entire black dress era was a serve. Just watch this performance at KCON Taipei. I'm still shaking.
Yeah, I agree with a good amount of what they're all saying. I think that CLC really has a strong hold on the Western audience, so we all love them.
Okay.
I also think, the Western audience as well is starved for these girl crush groups, because the cute concept has been in for so long. So anytime someone deviates from that, people just go crazy for it.
So in closing, can I say one final thing?
Yeah. So yeah.
I would like to thank Cube for giving Is One the La Vie en Rose, so that we can have this dope ass banger clanger feminist anthem of a song. No by CLC. So thank you,
Yeah.
Cube, for doing that,
Thank
even
you.
though everyone
Thank
hates you for
Cube.
doing just that.
Thank you, Cube, for doing that and only that, because there's so many other things you messed up on.
Well, I think people would say even that was a mess up because a lot of people love Olivia and Rose. Anyway.
Do you not love Lovey and Rose?
No, I love Olivia and Rose, but
Okay,
the song
good.
is just way
Good.
better.
Just needed to check.
Oh, it's a great song.
Well,
Okay. Okay.
Another
I'm glad
episode. Another episode.
Yeah. I'm glad CLC didn't have to do it. Okay. The Kpopcast is produced by Peter Lowe, Stephanie Parker, and Ariana Khan. Edited by Peter Lowe and Michaela J. And Ramen Man runs our Instagram.
Signing off. Guys, it's been a fun ride. Let our listeners know where they can find you online and in your best Seungyeon voice. What beauty standard item do you say no to?
You can find me on Twitter at Ariana_Y_Khan. And for me, it'd be uncomfortable bras. No.
you can find me on Twitter and everywhere else. It is Arcady blog, and for me, it's razors. No, because I'm lazy and I hate shaving.
You can find me at DJ Peter Lowe, and for me, it's that fake sticker that you put on your eye to fake double eyelid folds that all the Asians do. Because I naturally have double eyelid.
Okay, do it in Seungyeon's voice.
I'm paralyzed right now. I don't
Eyelid
even.
tape, no.
Eyelid tape. No. Okay,
You
well.
guys got it. I can't.
Wait,
I can't compare.
let me just say that when my friend went to Korea and she brought me back double eyelid tape, and I actually didn't understand the difference between single and double eyelid, and I'm trying to put it on. I'm like, why isn't it working? And she's like, you have double eyelids, you're white. And I was like, oh.
You don't need them. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share online.
못하게 쓰고 있는 것 There's not enough